Looks like Eddie made out pretty good last week on Friday. He's got our 2 solid tanks, we've got our pump tank down below, we got our big risers, our clean out points. This line is a little deeper. I mean, these pipes should run long right now, but get the upper part all backfilled. Box on for stone. And these are actually a flush buck. We oversized it just in case up front. Buck it out after, per the cast stone design. Our cast stone calls for a flush. So I'm expecting we'll get the rest of this bridge flashing on, and framer will get the rest of this house wrapped this week. We have good weather. Pretty soon the mason's going to get up to these gable returns. We'll have them block up underneath. We'll slick the top, and then we'll get the copper continued back to our WRB. This one gets a cast stone sill and a header. We won't be getting our cast stone until about middle of May. Just a long lead time. It's almost 4 months. And painter was out here on Friday. A couple paint samples up. Wish he got the crown, but normally I don't put the gutters on until after it's all painted, but don't want to hold up the guys either until selection. Masons are going to build up, and then we got to do our step layout. So we're going to work on a radius template. So we're going to have a radius stiff flashing template that's going to match a lot around the house, actually. A couple different areas, for example, right there. We've got several different locations like that. It's amazing what somebody who knows how to operate a skid steer can do. Just say it real quick. Got things roughly cleaned up for us around the job site. Framers are Amish, so they were actually off yesterday, day after Easter. So we're able to clean up our material on site, just get everything organized around the job site. Makes things a lot easier to operate. Got some waterproof on this wall. Reason is our grade does come up a little bit, so any water weeping through that. Basically our grade is 6 inches below the HB texture flash. Just a slow taper pitch. Went a little bit higher because our grades could change, but they parched everything first. Got some boral, got the garage protected. Put Tyvek down instead of plastic, so it allows the moisture to escape, and then just some OSB with zip tape. Leave a gap around the perimeter for any expansion. Got some paint samples. I like that color. Topsoil, using the grader right now, and then they're going to get this thing seeded and hayed and stabilized.
so good. Self-adhered WRB came out really nice. Guys did a great job. Didn't have much wind this week. Getting their bucks all prepped. There's still dry pans in and everything. So you can even see our heads are flapped up so we can still shingle where our window flanges. Very clean. Just about done all the roof flares. There's that little section up top there. The roofers are back papering, getting this dried in. So making some good progress to get mechanical subs started. Place watertight. So we got the veranda block. Everything will get prepped for stone. As you can see, this side will be open. Guys are cruising on trim now, exterior trim. So they're getting their gable returns in. We're gonna get our roofers to copper cap all these. And they can do the actual gable trim. We've got a lot of our windows prepped. Guys pushed me back, the install team one day, so we've got all that prepped. And our HVAC contractor has started. So you'll notice that I got metal pans here. That is vent locations. I requested, I made sure our framing was spaced out so we still have this vent centered on the window. Our framing was stepped back so we still had access to get all these vents in. But every now and then you run into something different. Like right here is proposing return, which in reality, return actually has to go on this wall. So I like to do this that way I can walk around, see all the vent locations like this one here. Actually needs to bump over this direction a little bit. So that way they are located properly before they are cut out. And then we still got a metal plate to cover the hole. Thing here, we've got metal pans. Now these, they're not going to cut out yet because I actually want to get these units installed and make sure that this vent is dead center on the actual unit itself so it looks really nice and clean with the grills. Certain areas like this, pretty easy and straightforward. And then you've got other ones like over here. Other ones here where we've got a panel set up with an operable unit and then fixed panels, so make sure that all these are dead centered on our fixed panels. Getting our elevator shaft framed for our temp stairs. Really pushing it today on the 8 o'clock noise curfew. Concrete guys showed up a little early. It's alright. I think we should be alright. So a lot happened on site today. We were getting all this block core filled, part of our spec. And then all those piers actually added bar as well. So it'll be barred and core filled. So working on flashing. Stone masons are moving. We're gonna get this all poured. Then we started our window installs. You can see up there we got some kind of bouncing around a little bit, but so far we're going really good. It was day one. Getting those walls all poured. We got some ductwork started. For windows, as I mentioned in a previous video, we marked everything out. So as you can see, it makes these guys their life pretty easy. We already figured for a 1/4 inch shim on the bottom. So that way we can make sure, run a laser around the house in case there is any variability. They've got our seal dry pans. They're cut back to where they needed to be, and then we'll backer rod and caulk all this. We're gonna build up our mortars that way. We've got a nice solid base all the way back here, and then the roofer can do a flat seam copper joint that'll go all the way back. We'll make sure that if we're not tucking up underneath our WRB, at least taping the top of it and sealing everything up. Then after that, then the mason can build on top of that, so that way this copper doesn't push down from the weight of his stone. Right, Mike?
Yeah, right.
To get our transfer switch down, so we utilize this window opening while we can to get it in our basement. Or down some long straps. These guys are getting more windows on. We got some long straps. We're going to move this thing way up in the air at first, kick the bottom in, and drop it in our stairwell. Right, so far so good. It's down in there partly. We're getting dollies underneath, and then I'll continue dropping this thing down.
Plastic through this.
These guys are continuing window installs. So in a couple areas we got door locations. I like to do a liquid flash down first, just as a sub flash. Boots and suspenders, and then we're actually going to have a copper pan detail we're doing. These Arcadia doors are pretty slim threshold, so you can see we're going to do an AZAC block backup. we're gonna have our actual threshold, which our nailing flange is about a 16th proud. So that way our nailing flange will end up being on there. Our hard will butt into this. I always like to have a back dam, so I have that right to that point there. Be a nice finished detail. So we always want to make sure we got venting on everything, even siding. So actually sneaking some core vent here. So that way when our bevel siding tucks up under here, this is ventilated above, and this is going to be ventilation at the bottom. So that way you get continuous drainage plane vented behind here, and there'll be an MTI rain screen. A little bit of forethought up front, but it's a nice little hidden detail. So we had to go over, we only got 2 of these locations around the house, but we've got a little different gable return where it's got the radius roof section, our crown returns back, and we had this little triangle, so I had them copper cap that, step it back about 3/8 of an inch, make this little boral triangle section, and then our roofers will do their drip cap that'll run around, it'll run up there. So, and then this will have actually slate. Some of the other gable returns, like down below over there, that actually has a copper on it, which the roofers right now are prepping. Then enough gable returns. It's a beautiful morning out here. So window guys, they are cruising. Originally said several weeks on these, but we're already on day number 4 now. It's only been 3 days, and we've got most of the second floor done. They are beautiful. This is an area that gets siding, so we don't have window bucks. We got our window flap at the top there still, so that way we can tuck our cop underneath it there later. Some of the dormers will be wrapped ahead of time because it's just too tight for the flap. One big difference between your standard windows you'll see on these is they're flush. Most windows project out about 1 1/8 inches. So we got some different details we got to do with our trim, our sills, and waterproofing. You can see we got the sill dry pan at the bottom, no fasteners in the bottom. Been nice and clean. So we got a lot of our gable returns as trim guys are working on. They're working on the crown and stuff. Got that flare. We've got these gable returns the roofer's been working on. He taped the top, but because I couldn't tuck it underneath, so we got to put a little bit of sealant on top of that tape, which is kind of recommended by Panel Shield. If it's zip, you don't have to do that, but a little extra step. So we're prepping our stone for the veranda. This has got a really cool detail where we've got a column section, another column section back there. Now originally on the architecturals, the grade was just level, but in reality it's higher here and then starts working its way down. So I divided up, we got about a 6 and 11/16 difference, so we got our one height there. Then at the column, it'll transition down another 6 and 11/16. We go to this column, you can see our chalk line as well, steps down a little bit more, and same thing back here. And on this section here, our finish grade is 6 inches down from that chalk line. And then it'll just be a slight pitch, and then that other line where that starts, another 6 inches worth from our finish grade. It'd be a really cool detail.